Welcome. This is the Red Hook Town Board meeting, special meeting of Wednesday, December 6th, 2023. Would you be kind enough to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. And for the folks at home, I have up on the screen what we'll be briefly discussing tonight. We just have one appointment to make in our reorganization, and we have department and committee reports. We anticipate going into an attorney-client session, and then actually that should be number 4. We'll do some quick other business beforehand. And our regular scheduled meeting is December 12th on Tuesday, where we expect to have a very lengthy agenda. Okay, that said, I don't have any announcements for today. On the 12th, we'll have a few. Are there any public comments? Anybody like to make some public comments, Linda?
Yes, I went through the committees, and it seems that we have a lot of committees that are incomplete. And I also noticed that the historian was completely left out. So we have incompletes on the communications committee, the complete streets, disaster preparedness committee, intermunicipal task force, and the infamous St. Margaret's committee is incomplete, which I'm a parenthesis, I don't know what that's supposed to be, but I volunteered to be on this committee, so if you would see fit to appoint me, I would serve. I served before. The Senior Citizen Services Committee is incomplete. And the Zoning Review Committee is incomplete. That's an important one that should be filled.
Thank you, Linda. Okay, why don't we dive right on in? Let's start with, well, we had reorg. Our reorg appointment is coming to us from the village. They had Brent Kowalczyk be a member, or had desired Brent Kowalczyk to be a member of our Community Preservation Fund Advisory Board. Brent has resigned, and they are recommending that we appoint in his stead Charlie Lang. As you know, the Community Preservation Board has specific requirements, one of which is that a majority of the members have some demonstrated experience in land preservation. Charlie's background with Department of Environmental Protection, working over there in the watershed, not only qualifies but is sort of exemplary for this type of a board. And so I would like to make that motion that we appoint Charlie Lang to the Community Preservation PDR Advisory Committee for the period ending 2025.
I'll second.
Thank you, Bill Hamel. Any questions, folks? Any comments? Okay. Hearing none. All in favor, Julia Solomon?
Aye.
Christine Kane?
Aye.
Jacob Testa?
Aye.
Thank you, and thank you, Charlie, for agreeing to serve on that board. We will soon be taking up the review of the property formerly known as the UTS down in Marytown, that application. Okay, we will go right into department reports. Police. Bill, would you like to give us the?
Sure. For the month of October, there were 111 calls that the village police went to in the town. Another 16 in Tivoli. They've issued 20 traffic tickets and made 3 arrests. The report speaks for itself by categories, and certainly any information that anybody needs, they're more than welcome to call.
Very good. Thank you very much, Tom. Recreation. Christine, would you be kind to add?
Okay, so sort of coming to the end of the season, but there's still a lot happening, and there's still stuff that happens over the winter. So as far as continuing updating projects, I guess I would say, we are still waiting to get the new LED lights installed on the south parking lot poles. That's the only ones we have left, so that would be complete once that happens. Our pickleball courts are very popular, so the policy is for the tennis courts and the pickleball courts that the nets stay up until the first snow, because they're not all-weather nets. And if they stay up, unfortunately, the material on the courts is very damaged if people bring snow shovels and try to clear off the courts. So I don't know if the amount of snow we got today qualifies enough for taking the nets down, but probably very shortly they will be down and closed for winter. The rec committee has been looking into maintenance programs for the turf field. It's getting more and more use, and therefore it needs various upkeep and repairs and things that our team cannot do. So they are going to be recommending that we purchase a maintenance program for that to extend the life of the turf field. Previously, we talked about doing some sound blocking materials for the skate park. So that has been started, so to speak. The materials have been ordered, so that and it will cover a total of 128 feet, not the whole entire surrounding of the skate park, but a large part of it. And so we're hoping that that will go a long way towards modifying the noise problems there. Again, we reported earlier that we have had vandalism, several incidents of vandalism in the men's restrooms as soon as they were renovated. And the cost of the repairs came out to be about $4,900 total. So there's still work or negotiations being handled around the perpetrators and the costs and the final dispensation of all of that. Let's see, so we have been getting, the payments are coming in for the user fees that we charge for the use of the parks and the leagues that participate, so there's still some more outstanding, but we hope to receive those soon. The snack bar has been closed, the water is in the process of being shut off at various parts. It's a snack bar, yard hydrants, etc. around the park, and myriad other small details, but those are sort of the highlights.
Thank you, Christine. Our Rec Park Connector project is just about finished, wrapped up. There's 1 or 2 items on the punch list.
Mm-hmm.
Folks will notice.
That'll be open soon.
That will be open very soon.
Yeah.
And we've got the gate. We're just waiting for some equipment for the gate on the entrance there. So, and some signage from the county. That's what we're waiting on. But if you do drive by, you'll see what the project looks like in reality, and hopefully you'll like it. Okay. Water District report, Phil?
This report was for the session they had at the end of October. We just had another session on the report for November, just came in yesterday, so we
Okay.
didn't have time. But they are more or less identical. And really nothing significant to note. The water department's, the only thing that's coming up, and there was a notice that came out, they're gonna be flushing the hydrants, I think December 19th.
Okay.
But for people who live in Linden Acres, College Park, and one other area, the water will be brown for the day. And the water department says that you should run that water until it runs clean before you drink it. And they don't recommend doing laundry on that day until you have clean running water at all times, because your clothes will get stained. And this is a function that has to be done periodically on dead-end streets where there's a fire hydrant, and sediment builds up at the end of, at the dead end, and so they have to flush that out. So that's the only significant thing that's coming up, and they're still working on mapping our network to see, you know, what kinds of piping is in different areas, since the water department wasn't all built at once.
Okay.
That's that.
Very good. Thank you, Bill. We also have the dog control report.
There's two of them, actually.
If you would be so kind.
Sure, absolutely. They're from both September and October. There have been some dogs at large. They're not dangerous dogs, and they've gotten calls. So these are dogs that, you know, they somehow escaped from their tether or their home. But fortunately, we haven't had any bites or any dangerous dogs. Nuisance dogs, there's one that's just barking, usually a complaint from a neighbor, a dog that's been left out. And then there's the ubiquitous other, which turned out to be a goat whose head got stuck in a fence on Haven Hill Road. I know those goats are the goats that have the horns, and actually, my wife actually freed one of those goats herself while walking our dog. There are not many goats, you have goats, right?
I do, yeah.
But not many of them have the horns.
We just
Oh,
put
you,
them
okay.
beforehand, yeah.
Yeah, I
Put a
don't-
little paste on.
I don't see many that have the horns, but the ones that, there's a bunch up there, and there was one that got stuck
Yeah.
in the fence. So, and I guess someone called, a neighbor called SPCA, and it had already been gotten out,
Freed.
freed. So, and then the other was a dog that was running loose over near Agway for about a week, and it has
Yeah,
been captured,
right.
and it's been
Fine.
fostered and adopted.
Okay.
Mhm.
The owner was never identified for that?
No, no, it wasn't chipped. It had a
Okay.
collar, but no, it had like it had just like a, you know, cloth collar, but there was nothing attached, and it didn't have a chip. So, and it was malnourished, and it either had fleas or mange, but it's been adopted by a happy home now.
Okay. All right, next up we have tree preservation commission report.
Yes, so for the November meeting of the Tree Preservation Commission, following as we discussed, so Saturday, November 4th, 11 trees were planted on Bud's Corners Road. Some thank yous to Michelle Decker for digging the planting holes, and to Teresa Burke and the Highway Department for storing the trees for several days. The Tree City USA recertification application has been submitted. A private property on Linden Avenue has been visited at the request of the homeowner. It appears to be a good site for 3 trees, so that may be a future planting site. And then the 42 new trees in Rec Park West and 35 trees on Pitcher Lane have all been cleaned up and weeded. The committee is not going to meet in December, so thanks for all the work this year.
Thank you, Jacob. All right, we also have a very lengthy building and zoning report, but maybe we can just go to the front page there.
Somewhat ironic that it follows right after the tree report, since so many pages of paper.
That's where the trees go.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
paper.
They've been very busy at the building department. They did 108 inspections, they issued 50 permits. I've noticed around town a lot of building going on, people trying to get things done before the hard freezes, in terms of like small additions and stuff, so they can pour their slabs or their foundations. They issued 31 certificates of occupancy or completion. There were 7 complaints, and they generated $23,973 in revenue, it's generally from permits. It is a lengthy report, and it has all the information on every location where they've done every inspection, what the nature of the renovation is, what work's being done, and whether they inspected, whether they passed or they failed. The vast majority of them do pass, and the few that didn't make it, it's usually a minor thing.
Question on the pie chart that's kind of late in the report. It looked like
Yeah.
there is a pretty significant commercial permit component this month.
I believe that might be, that's not, that might be, is it one permit? I'll have to
I don't
I'll have to
remember.
look, but I know
Okay.
Mighty Donuts,
Yeah.
and there's been some other
Okay.
businesses that have had activities, so.
Okay.
I'll have to look at that.
Very good. Okay, those are actually our reports. We're going to jump right to other business. Both items relate to highway. We heard from our highway superintendent, Teresa Burke, that there was a mistake in the quote that was asked and received related to the sander body. That the quote that was given was related to plain steel as opposed to the stainless steel. Went back out to get 3 quotes on the stainless steel, which is now represents a purchase of, with a 30% discount, $14,500. Same company, ZWAC. These are comparable quotes that you see here. So we do want to formally go ahead and entertain a motion to revise our bid. You did prepare a resolution, I think, Chris, but I don't have it in our batch. What number would that be?
90.
90, it's a resolution. Chris, would you like to just briefly read it and we'll go ahead and vote on it?
So whereas the Town of Red Oaks Highway Superintendent has recommended the purchase of certain equipment described herein, whereas the Town of Red Hook, Dutchess County, New York, has identified a truck with the required specifications available pursuant to a piggyback contract, bid number 10914, led by Onondaga County, whereas counties reviewed the Onondaga County bid package, determined the procedures are in accordance with the requirements of Section 103, Subdivision 16, in the town's purchasing policy, and that such purchase on the terms and conditions set forth in such bid is in the best interest of the town. Now therefore be it resolved by the town board. The town hereby authorizes purchase from ZWAC Inc. pursuant to the terms and conditions of Onondaga County bid number 10914 of a stainless steel sander body with tailgate latch, rear light, stop tail turn, and flashers installed on the town's dump body at a purchase price of $14,500 as set forth in the proposal on file with the town clerk. Supervisor Robert McKeon, or in his absence, Deputy Supervisor William Hamill, is hereby authorized and directed to execute a contract on the terms and conditions set forth therein. Such contract shall be approved by the officer executing such contract consistent with the terms of this resolution. This resolution shall take effect immediately.
Thank you. And I so move. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Can we do a little bit of discussion? first?
Please, sorry.
So, that's okay. So I know that this is for a sander. In the past, we've had some information about it. I don't know that we've had like a full discussion about it, but converting to using brine on the roads. I don't know that this equipment will be compatible with that, and I don't know that we necessarily want to wait to purchase it now, but I think it'd be a good thing to have on the agenda to talk about. I know we received some information from the county about other communities that have made that conversion, have found it to be something that's been cost effective pretty quickly. So it's something that I just wanted to sort of flag while we're talking about buying equipment for responding to snow events.
I have also had that same thought. I think about it every time we approve purchases for, snow and ice abrasives. I would enjoy a conversation that includes the highway superintendent and maybe some peers from communities that have tried the brine approach, because I share Jacob's thoughts that it may end up being both cost effective and environmental.
Okay. Would you like to table this motion to approve until we have that conversation, or?
I guess, I don't know, it seemed from Teresa's communication that this was something that was kind of urgent in terms of the equipment for current practices, and I think that, like I said, I don't think that the discussion meant to necessarily stop the purchase of this piece of equipment, but I think it would be good to have the conversation about making that transition soon.
One thing I
Sure.
can add is, as the person who's on the water board, water source protection, we had our meeting on Friday, or Thursday of last week, and it was Friday morning.
Friday.
And that issue came up, and there was a person from the county there, and they've offered to give us a presentation, but you should know that even when brine is used, it's often supplemented with a salt sand combination
Sure.
anyway. So
Sure.
based on the photos that I saw of the one that she's requesting, I'm not sure that buying it is problematic in that it would still be used. But I did ask the county official and the state to put together something for us just to explain, because I think they said that the town of East Fishkill is doing it, and that Rhinebeck is looking at it, and there were a couple other that were looking at it, but the guy from the county was pretty clear about the fact that despite what some people think that you can just do it, it's a little more complicated than that. There's a period of time in which as you transition, it can take several years, and it's not a standalone solution.
Yeah.
Sure.
And that's why I figured it makes sense to talk about it, and even, buying this equipment, right, it's a new piece of equipment, even if we did transition and it was surplus, I think we'd be able to get it.
Oh, yeah, you
something.
could.
So, I still think it's a good idea to move forward with this purchase, but I just wanted to
Sure.
put a pin in it.
I think that's great.
And I think it'd be good to have, if maybe we invite Teresa to one of our upcoming meetings and
Yeah.
see.
Why don't we shoot for second one in January,
Yeah.
when we'll have time? I know December 12th is looking chock full, and then obviously the first one will have a lot of rework. But how about second one in January? We'd be looking at entertaining new equipment or a new approach for next winter, I think,
Yeah,
right?
there's time.
Right.
Yeah.
Can we also, when we do have this on the agenda, could we consider inviting somebody? I think the county, EMC, the Environmental Management Commission, has done quite a lot of work on this.
The guy who was on the call was, he was on the call, and he was gonna reach out to the folks in the county,
Okay.
and I told them to basically try to coordinate with Robert for the agenda, and I said, we meet every first Tuesday, second Tuesday, fourth Wednesday, and even though we're a little tied up this, so they're gonna put something together, and I asked for some read ahead,
Yeah.
just so we can ask some cogent
Come up to
questions.
speed. Yeah, that'd be great.
Thanks for reaching out.
No.
Okay. Very good, okay. Noted, second meeting, January. Ask Teresa if she's available. Otherwise, we'll do it soon thereafter. Okay. Excuse me. Where we last left off, we had a motion and a second. And thank you, Jacob, for discussion, and Julia. At this time, all in favor? Julia?
Aye.
William? Christine?
Aye.
Jacob?
Aye.
Myself. Last item of other business brought to our attention is we have on our property, we have a lurking 48-inch white oak that is near a residential home that is presenting the possibility, because of its deterioration, of falling on that home. And so we've gotten some quotes for removal of, well, to take down the tree and to do some chipping, because it's near our property off of Laura Lane, between 199 and Laura Lane. We don't have to get rid of all the wood. And so the lowest estimate we had was $3,500 for that
Reach out to the
tree.
person to gave you name?
What's that?
Did you contact that third person that gave you the information?
I believe we did. Remind me who that vendor was again?
Davis.
Sorry. No, I don't think we had that one. All right, so would you like to wait? We can get a third estimate and vote on this.
Well, I just thought usually we have to get 3, right?
Yeah. Okay. Why don't we do that and we'll vote on this next week?
I mean, is there a, like, imminent,
Well,
any day sort of situation where
let's
we
hope not.
should move ahead?
Let's hope not. No, I don't think so. I think we can spare the 6 days. But I would like us to vote on it. And get this taken care of. Better safe than sorry. Okay. We'll get one more quote on that. Then vote on Tuesday. We'll add that to the agenda. All right. Very good. That's all the business that we have tonight. At this time, I'd like to wish you all good night. We'll see you again next week, December 12th. At this time, I would make a motion to go into attorney-client session. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Good night, everyone. Thank you.